Hello everyone and welcome to episode 71 of the 10-minute modeling challenge. This time around I'm going to be doing a spider bot, and it was suggested by Mia PC, and I think she meant it like a spider bot, so I'm going to do a spider robot. If that's not what you meant, then I got it wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway. So a little robotic, hard surfaced spider. It's going to be low poly, of course, no surprise. I'm going to fit it in 10 minutes. I'm going to rig it as well. Last weekend got a little bit busy as well. First, it was my wife's birthday, actually, on the Friday. So we had a good time there, spent time with the family and celebrated that. And then on the weekend, we did a lot of housework. So we're starting to tear down a balcony. And of course, there was Ludum Dare 48, and I sort of a little bit forgot about it. So I just had to do what I could. I didn't want to miss out on my 13th consecutive participation of Ludum Dare, but I had to scale it down. So I did a little diving game, and very unmanageable. Very little innovation when it comes to this one, and originality, it just flushed down the toilet. And when I told my wife what I did, she's just going, God, couldn't you come up with anything better than that? But the game's called Deep Blue. Wow, surprising, original, yeah, I know. And it's a deep diving, like a free diving game. So I modeled a little character, and it had some new challenges actually, but it was good to learn. First of all, I'm not used to modeling characters being upside down and with the leg movements. I'm so used to inverse kinematics and the walk cycles. So when I'm going to do the flippers and when he was swimming down, it was a little bit trickier than I thought. So that was a bit of a good practice, and there was a few other things. I did an inverted ragdoll, which was quite fun. That's another new one for me, because usually I just do a ragdoll, apply physics and let him drop. But this one I had to do a ragdoll, basically like before, but I inverted gravity and I had to do the angular drag and the drag of all the joints a little bit so it looks like he's floating up. And for the depth of the water, just to make that blue shades, I didn't really go all in with volumetrics and stuff like that. I did it the cheating way. That's me. I was going to say that's me. That's not me. But the... Oh yeah, I just put a lot of transparent sheets between like different layers of the background, so it gradually shaded it towards like a blue color for the depth. So you can download that Unity project, and if you want to have a look at it, it looks a total mess. It's like hack and slash, just make it work within the time. And I guess you have 48 hours for Ludum Dare. Ludum Dare 48 hours. Oh, that's a bit of a coincidence. But I managed to put 15 hours into the game, and considering that little amount of time, I was happy with the result. And I also wanted to make my first one-click game, so there's only one button that you need to do in the whole game, and that's press spacebar. But if you time the swim downs, then you can go a little bit faster, so you can reach that depth. And the theme, of course, was deeper and deeper. So I thought every time you go, you're going to go a little bit deeper. It's time to model a spider bot, and I'm going to go for the old school palette again, the solid. Link is might be in the description. Let's go. Ready, steady, go. We're off. Yay. Tab in title mode. A. Select everything. G. Oh no. First of all, of course, auto mirror. A. G. Move it up. Scale it down. Bring it in. And here, I'm going to copy this for the legs. Shift D. I'll copy this for like a little gun turret at the top here. L. Scale. Y. Control R. Maybe 6 loop cuts on this one, because then you get a nice even number to do this little effect with that we're going to use. So we're going to do I to inset, B to get rid of the boundary in the center, Alt S to scale it down. And here, let's do like a head. So Control R, scale it out there. Maybe bring that down. And here we go. I'm just going to do some sort of a like spider-like body or something. I don't know. G. Okay. A, select everything. Let's make it a little bit darker this time. Dark spider, like in Minecraft. G. Orange, bit robotic, no Minecraft anymore. G to move that on. I think that should do. And make it a little bit pointier. And we can do an eye here. So I to inset. Yeah, I to inset the eye. Hilarious. Not really. G, red. Spin cycle on the washing machine is going up again. Bear with it. Stay with me. Let's see. G. Okay. I haven't even started on legs yet, so that's the eye. Let's do a leg. Scale it down. R to rotate, scale it down. I'm going to do period and do, no, I'm not, comma, and do normal, so we get the normal directions there. E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale. I'll just do like a robotic leg, of course. So that's it. Simple as that. And here, let's copy this one, Shift D, scale it down, E to extrude, S to scale. Do it like internally like that. Don't have to worry about the hydraulics and stuff like that. We should be getting away with it. Low poly, we'll get away with it. E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale. No, I'm not gonna scale that one. Shift D, scale it down, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale. And I'm gonna do like spiky legs here, so I don't have to worry about feet. 7:47 on the clock. I'm gonna do L to select the linked here though, and rotate this so the legs don't get too long. So G, okay, E to extrude. I'll just do all the way down to the tip here now. Scale, pointy feet there. Control R, but I'll chunk them up a little bit here. Put some features here. And then I'm gonna do some shields of some sort here. So let's just do, let's select that one. E to extrude. I'm gonna touch it to the actual leg, so it's a little bit easier to weight paint because we have to do manual weight painting for this. E to extrude. So let's do the shield here, the leg shield. E to extrude for this spider bot. E to extrude, R to rotate. And then let's shift select a few of these. And Alt E, extrude long face normals. G to move it down. Scale, Z, no, X, no, Y. Okay, no, apparently no axis. So let's leave it then. And G to move that on. Spiky, I think the washing machine's done that. G to move that on. Okay, this should do. And then I'll do features here as well. So maybe I'll GG. Oh, something wrong. Oh yeah, that's because that one. So Control R, let's do 4 here. Alt select these. I to inset. Alt S to scale them down and make them orange. And then here, we've got 621. We'll do the same type of feature here. So E to extrude, E to extrude, but here I'll just do one, I think like this, E to extrude, like a shield here on the leg as well. Alt E to extrude long face normals. Is that even what I'm doing? I hope so. G, move that on, and should we do move that one up? Control R, we'll just do one loop here. I to inset, Alt S to scale it down, orange. And here it felt like it was a bit too thick, so let's do shift select these and spike this up as well. Don't need to protect the leg that much. That should do. And should we do some weird? No, I think that should be all right. Do E to extrude, S to scale. Little details here. Okay, never mind. And now I'll do the turret. So G to move that one back to there. E to extrude. I'll just do something super simple. E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude. And then E to extrude, S to scale. And then here I'm just going to do like a cannon or a gun. Let's just call it a gun. Shift D, duplicate that one, scale. Bring it down to there and bring it in because it's going to have like a recoil effect here. E to extrude, E to extrude again, S to scale. We'll do a little bit taller. Y. Okay, comma, and do global again. And then E to extrude, E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude. Here's just like the tip of the gun or something. E to extrude, S to scale, I to inset, B for boundary, and E to extrude in. That's big cannon. Big cannon hole. Control R, 6 loop cuts. Maybe that was too many. I don't know. Let's do those like indentations here as well. Alt S to scale that on. E. Maybe bring those up. And here should we do like a shield in the back here as well. Alt E, extrude long. Oh. Alt E, extrude long face normals. Scale Z. Rotate G. E to extrude, S to scale. And we'll do those. I'll just do one here as well. Alt S, scale it down, G. Okay, 4 minutes to go. Let's try to rig this. And I have to figure out how to do this now. Because let's do some maybe dark parts here too. Okay, so to do this, I need to do more legs here. G to move. I have to first of all do the armature. Shift A, armature. And here, let's go into this tab and do viewport in front. Tab into edit mode. Got 3 minutes to. Oh, someone's trying to call. Rotate. Minus 90. Ah, can't answer now. Maybe that's the fiber. I'll just have to decline for now and pick up after. Shift space G. Shift D, that's for the turret, that's for the gun. And name this one root. Name this one turret. Name this one gun. And then we'll do this one needs to be connected. So Control P, keep offset, and this one needs to be connected to one, keep offset. And now I have to do the legs. So E to extrude, G to move it, G to move that one down. Oh, I have to do inverse kinematics for this too. 248. This is not going to work. I'm panicking now. Fail duck might be coming up. Let's see. So I have to parent that one. Control P, keep offset, leg A.L.001. Weird name. And G to move that one down. E to extrude that one up to... No. G there. And E to extrude it down to the tip. And this needs to be segment B, but leg 1. And this one needs to be leg C. Let's see. 1 still. I feel panic now. 2 minutes to go. E to extrude. P. No, Alt P. Clear parent. G to move that on high up, because this is going to be the pole target for some flippy legs. I need to find the deform needs to go off. And then E to extrude that on. Alt P. Clear parent. Deform off. IK target.L.001. IK pole.L.001. And now I have to do the inverse kinematics too. So I have to go Control Tab, pose mode. Did I name these correctly? Yeah. 132. Panicking. Inverse kinematics there. And we need 3 segments this time. And here's the armature. So armature and IK target. Here's the armature, IK pole. And that's flipped out. I have to do A to select everything. Shift N, view axis, roll calculation. Tab again. And we have to do this one is 180 degrees probably. Yeah. And G. That like works. Control Tab. Okay, now we need to duplicate this. So shift select these. 57 seconds to go. This. Let's see. I'll move that one to G -1. Okay, G there. 2. -1. -2. Okay. And that's moved. Shift D 2. Shift D 2. Okay, 34 seconds. Tab into edit mode. L to select all the linked here. And then back. Shift D 2. Shift D -2. Oh no. Top view. Shift G -4. That's it. And here we go. 10 seconds to go. And I'm going to actually move these a little bit closer again. L. Shift select everything. And Great. So the 10 minutes are up, and I did manage to sort of model a spider bot, and I created the armature roughly, but I failed to link it up, and you can't do automatic weights with this anyway, so I don't think I was even close when it came to it at the end here. So the idea was to do a rigged spider bot in 10 minutes, and that sort of failed, so I'm gonna have to move into the bonus content now and rig it, and we'll do a little animation for this spider bot as well. But when you think about it, maybe was it a fail or was it a huge success? Because I managed to model the spider bot well within the 10 minutes. So this is the bonus material now, and this is where we take care of the rest of the rigging and the animating. So let's try to just ignore that, everything that just happened, and let's move on. Let's proceed. Okay, so I'm still gonna try to keep the pace up though, a little bit. But it's weird without the pressure on. Can't really keep the pace up then. You should always work on the pressure. It's always a lot better. So what we're going to do here, let's take these bones here, shift space G. I'm going to move them a little bit closer together again, because I think they ended up a little bit far apart. So let's shift select a bunch of those and move them up. Okay, I need to move the whole bone. Oh, the tempo significantly drops after the pressure is off. So G, let's do on this axis 0.5. That's a little bit better, I think. And then we'll move this one down too. And shift select those. G minus 0.5. There we go. And then we'll do the same for the legs here. So L, L, L to select linked. G, middle mouse button, 0, negative 0.5. Start LLL G 0.5. Okay. So the idea now would be to, let's see, everything's there. Since I named them the way I did, we can parent these now. I think everything's pretty much set up. I've got the inverse kinematics. We had that in time though, so that worked within the time limit. That's pretty good. Could have been worse. So with this done, I think it's time to do them symmetrize. So A to select everything. No. Tab into edit mode on the armature. A, select everything. F3. Oh, that's cached since the last challenge. Symmetrize. There we go. And that one's all symmetrized now. And Control Tab, pose mode. The inverse kinematics, everything works for both legs. Yeah, that works, and this works. So let's parent it. We have to do a little bit different because now, since we're outside of the 10 minutes bonus, then when we parent this, I can show you that we don't really want to use automatic weights, because if I do that, Control P, so I shift select that. First I selected the mesh, shift selected the armature, Control P. If I do the automatic weights now, it sort of works. But if you look here, Control Tab into pose mode, G, and see that it's moving the face and it's distorting the legs a little bit. So you don't really get that hard feeling, but it did actually do a pretty good job, but this is no good. So instead of doing that, we want to lock everything 100% in place. So to do that, let's Control Z out. Now I'm going to do, again, select the mesh, shift select the armature, Control P, and then do with empty groups. I've done this a few times in the past for like the mech warrior type of thing. But let's do it. We'll start with the body here. So tab into edit mode, L to select this one, Control G, and set active group. Okay, we didn't name this one apparently root, so let's do that first. F2, I thought I did. Ah, did I name that one turret? Okay. Tourettes. Root. Tourettes. I should do like a programmer's Tourette's. Like Singleton, bah! Singleton, garbage collection. Let's go L, select the linked vertices for the body, and then now we'll do Control G, set active group, root. Control G, assign to active group. L, this is going to be a bit repetitive. Control G, set active group, turret. Okay. Control G still, assign to active group. You get a little bit faster when you've done it a few times. So L, Control G, set active group, done. Control G, assign to active group. And now comes the fun part. We have to do it for the legs. So L, and that's why we sort of named them a little bit decently. Control G, set active group, leg A, L.001. So I'm just going to do it now instead of saying all this. So we'll do this one. And you start to get into the repetitive movement here. So chung, chung. You can slow this down if you need to. L, G, and this one, Control G, assign to active group. That's why it's good to have all the leg components attached to each other as well, because it makes it this part a little bit easier. I tried with, I can't really speak and do this at the same time, but I have tried with envelopes instead of automatic weights, and that doesn't really work so well either. So this is pretty much the only way I've found to do the hard surface stuff when I connect them up. And a spider shooter, I have 8 legs. I only did 6 legs. That was to save some time. But, and it looks cool enough, I think, with 6 legs. So Control L, set active group, and here we go, the last one. This one, Control A. Hope I remember to assign them all here. L, Control G. There, Control G, active group. And the last one, L. We only have to do one side. Set active group, leg. Oh, nearly the wrong one. No, it was the wrong one. Not nearly, it was the wrong one. It was nearly the right one. And assign to active group. Okay, now we can check it. Control Tab, pose mode. G. Will it move? That moved. This one moved. And that one moved. And these should work then. Oh, yep. Success. And the pole targets here will aim the legs. So that's done. We should also try to animate this one, because I haven't really modeled any. I haven't really animated stuff that's not like a bipedal thing. So let's go into the animation tab. We'll do the right thing first. Set this one to texture and shadow. And we'll do cavity, of course, both. So we get a pretty interface here when we look. So here we go. There's the spider with a little cannon on. So let's animate it. First of all, I'll go to the action editor here instead. Bring this one up and let's create a new action. Let's call this one we can't call it T-pose because it's not a T-pose. We'll call it just default. I'll do an underscore as well. Remember, your neutral pose, put an underscore at the top of the actions because when you import it into especially Unity, I don't know about the other game engines, but it inherits the pose from the first action. So pro tip from an amateur. So there we go. Little shield icon to protect that from deletion. Go back to first frame here. And now we'll do I to insert, not inset this time, and location and rotation. And that creates that frame. So we've got the default pose there for everything. Now, should we do like an idle pose as well? We'll do idle. Little idle, Billy idle. No, it's a spider idle. There we go. So on the idle frame, I'll spread the legs out a bit. G to move that on. G. And if you move it from the top view like this with inverse kinematics, the feet will always be anchored really well to the ground. So you move them perfectly along that axis. So I should have actually had the animation thing ticked down here for automatic keyframing, so I don't forget. Insert. Let's lower the pose to there. And should we just do like a wobble pose here? So this one goes down a bit. Maybe the bum goes up. And we'll just change the pole angles here a little bit for some movement of the legs. We want the feet to be anchored though. That's important because you don't want them to move around on the ground. So there and there. And as we rotate the body, we could rotate the turret up a little bit. Oop. To compensate so it looks like it's aiming the weapon forward at all times. And let's see, that works. And then we'll do A to select everything, B to box select down here, Shift D to duplicate on the dope sheet to frame 40, and we'll do 39. And A to select everything, Shift E and make cyclic, and this one will loop forever then and make a pretty good little thing. So that could be the idle pose for if we can hide the armature as well. Now that the washing machine is finished, I just noticed, I'm hearing that they're drilling in the road. They're cutting the road outside, but don't worry, it's for a very, very good cause. We're getting fiber finally, so I don't have to stream these things during through my 4G little SIM card thing that keeps running out of data. So finally, a decent internet connection. All right, back to the thing. We'll do one walk animation too. So I'll copy this one. That's the idle. Looks like he's breathing heavily, so wobbling legs there, but that's okay. So walk, let's try to do a 6-legged walk cycle. Okay, how's this gonna go? We'll have to show the armature again, press space to stop it. Let's go back to frame 1 and the walk here. And okay, so control tab into pose mode, select all of them, delete everything. And for this one, I'm just gonna animate the left side of the spider here first. So we'll take this one, this leg, let's move it forward. This one goes back and this one goes forward. I think it's like an inverted cycle when they walk. So that one can go forward even to there. And I think I'll skip the pole targets for now. I'll just try to animate the legs. So I'm gonna go forward 4 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll go forward 8 frames because now we need to, I think, just move this leg back. G, maybe to there. This leg goes forward and this leg goes also back. So it's like the opposite. And we can't have the legs sliding like this. That looks super weird. So instead of them sliding, we have to lift, but only the leg in the middle here needs to lift because the ones that are moving backwards are anchored to the ground, pushing the spider forward. So let's go forward halfway there, so 4 frames, and this is the only leg I'm going to lift up. Let's lift it in to shield his body there too. Like this. It looks like it's a different number of keyframes here. I thought I went forward 4 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I missed it. So move it forward and move there. I think that should work. Yeah. And then we have to go back to this, of course. So shift select these. I'll actually insert the keyframes here as well, I think. I to insert location rotation. And then here, I have to think now. This one is going to come back to this pose. So and I have to go 8 frames in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's on cyclic. That's why. That's why it's animating without the keyframe. Shift E, clear cyclic. That makes more sense probably. Yeah. So, and I'm only needing to animate these. The rotations of the bones will take care of themselves since it's inverse kinematic. So Control C, and then here we'll skip in 8 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Control V. We're back to there. And then here, the only difference here now is that we need to lift those 2 legs because they're moving forward. So this is the only one that anchoring the spider. And we have to mirror it, I think, on the other side. So halfway through here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll lift these legs up instead. Front view, G, move it. And let's protect the body there. So that should be it. Maybe you can do this more expressive, I think, if you tried. So there. I think that works. And then we'll loop it on frame 16 here. Shift space. That works, I think. And now we just have to mirror this, I think, for the other side and then make the body move a little bit. So it doesn't look so static. And I don't think you can mirror. We want the poses offset as well. So this could be a little bit tricky. We should insert the location rotation keyframe there. So let's think now. I have to copy the mirror post. I think I'll do it straight forward first. So I'll control. Let's see, can I do all of these? Let's try it on the dope sheet. Control C, Control Shift V. Okay, that didn't work. I don't know if the paste mirror post works so well when it's not like on a humanoid. So I'll have to do them manually maybe. Control C, Control Shift V. Control C, Control Shift. Maybe it was the naming scheme that I used that was broken. So that's mirrored the poses. Let's just do that for all of them. Control C, Control Shift V, Control C, Control Shift V, Control. This is a new one. Control C, Control Shift V. And then this one, Control. The reason why you don't see any difference, because when I do Control Shift V, it's actually, I've only got this one selected. And when I'm pasting it mirrored, it's actually affecting the .R bone here. That's why it doesn't change down here. Control C, Control Shift V. Control C, Control Shift V. And then we've only got a few more. Control C, Control Shift V. Control C, Control Shift V. Control C, Control Shift V. One more. Bear with me. Why do I change? I could have started from there. Control C, Control Shift V. Control C, Control Shift V. Control C, Control Shift V. I could be quiet, but I'm not. So this won't work either because you can't have it so symmetrical, I don't think. So it works like that. I guess it is a little bit robotic, but I think I'll try to mirror it to see if... not mirror it, I'll offset it. So on this side, select the IK target bones. And then I think I'll just control... I think I only need to there, Control C. And then just Control V now, because these are already mirrored correctly. OG, move it in. Original gamer. There we go. And then now I'll delete these. Delete. G to slide them down. This is probably an easy way to do this. But there. Oh, and we've got duplicate frames here. Need to get rid of them because they were duplicate. Copied a little bit too many. And there. And that one should be the same as this one, yeah. That looks better, I think, a bit more creepier. But we need to do something with the body too, so... And I have no idea how to animate the body when it's moving here. So let's do... let's tilt it. So let's pretend... I don't know, there's probably some science to this, which way it should be tilting, like where the weight... Let's put the weight on this one. He's moving forward with 2 legs, so I guess the most weight would be on this side. So to get some sort of realism, you should always think about like center of gravity and stuff when you animate. So let's not think about that too much. No, you should think about it. R to rotate, G to move it to there. Let's pretend he's got the weight like shifted over a little bit. Control C. Here we can paste a flipped one or something. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Control Shift V. That moves it over. And then we'll have to duplicate this one on frame 16. Control V. Okay, that's too much. Way too much. Let's do it a little bit more subtle then, shall we? Alt-R, Alt-G to move it. Rotate. And let's move it down to there. Control-C. Frame 8. Control-Shift-V. Control, or frame 16. Is it frame 15 that I'm meant to do? No? 17? Oh, it's frame 17, okay. Easy to get confused. Control V. No, Control Shift V. Feels like it's wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's on the wrong frame. Okay, and then maybe we'll drop it. Should we go up to here? Control C. Control V. Okay. And then we could compensate, I think, with the turret as well. So it's like a gyro in here. R to rotate. Control C. And then go to frame 9 then. Control Shift V. Go to frame 17. Control V. Alright. Let's hide the armature. Okay, that could probably look a lot better, but I think the general movement of the leg, it looks a bit spiderish, I think. So you could probably spend some more. Should we try to slow it down a bit? Maybe it's too fast. So show the armature, A to select everything, keyframes, scale 2. Oh, okay, apparently I didn't select all the keyframes. Scale 2, G, move it to here. Frame 1, and then we have to cycle it on frame 32 instead. We can see a little bit slower here. And it's animated in place now, so you won't really see that it's moving forward, but it should be possible to animate it forward at a steady pace, I think. Or you could do root motion and animate it into this spell. I think that should be all right. But then I think I like the more rapid. It's a bot after all. It's going to be like, you know, a quick game. So let's make it faster again. 16. There we go. I like that one more. A bit more rapid. Come back next week for another episode of the 10-minute modeling challenge. It's going to be episode 72. And not only that, I'm going to be, since I've had the Ludum Dare out of the way now and my wife's birthday, which was wonderful, and it's out of the way. But that's not what I meant to say like that. Sounds weird. Sounds like I didn't enjoy it. But it was really nice, actually. We had a really good time. Weirdo. Okay, I'm digging myself a little bit of a pit here. So, Ludum Dare's out of the way. No matter how I put it, it sounds like out of the way. Now that the Ludum Dare is out of the way and we've had birthdays, we're doing a little bit to the house and everything, but now it's I should have some time now to do the rest of those narration segments for the little Wild West game, the gunfighter thing. So that should be a little bit fun. Keep your eyes out for those videos, and I'll see you next week. I've got a Patreon as well if you want to go there. It's patreon.com/Imphenzia. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.